So here we are again. Another week, another absolute roller coaster in Port Charles. I am honestly so tired, you guys. I've been staring at my screen for hours, trying to process what the writers are actually doing right now. But I have to talk about Wednesday's episode because my brain is just buzzing with all this mess. And I mean mess in the best and worst way possible. You know how it is. We watch, we complain, we keep watching. Let's just dive right into the absolute chaos that was the March 25th episode of General Hospital, because honestly, I am still reeling from every single scene they threw at us. And let's start with the pier. The pier is always where things go wrong on this show. Always. But this time it was next level. Rocco Falconeri, Little Rocco. He actually shot Ross Cullum in the back. I mean, what were they thinking putting a kid in this position? But also, it was kind of amazing. Rocco saw Cullum attacking Jason, he saw Britt get knocked out cold, and he took the gun and he fired. He pumped a bullet right into the WSB director, and now Nathan West is involved. Nathan, our usually straight-laced guy, is orchestrating a massive police cover-up. He literally looks at Lulu and swears her to secrecy. You do exactly as I ask, no one will ever have to know. Those were his exact words. And you can see the panic in his eyes. He's compromising everything he stands for to protect Lulu's son. And maybe I'm being too harsh on the writers here, but this is a massive leap for Nathan. But I get it. I really, really get it. You protect the kids. That's soap opera rule number 1. Nathan had already been worried about Cullum sniffing around. Cullum had barged in on Lulu and Nathan's afterglow a few episodes ago, looking for Charlotte Cassadine and then looking for Britt. Lulu was evasive, and Nathan got spooked enough to warn Dante, but this is beyond a warning. This is a full-blown felony cover-up. Nathan is risking his badge, his freedom, and his entire life to make sure Rocco doesn't go down for shooting a federal agent, and Jason is just standing there. Jason Morgan, the guy who usually handles everything, is telling Nathan to get him out of here, meaning Rocco. Jason knows that if Rocco gets caught up in this WSB mess, his life is over. So Jason is willing to let Nathan handle the dirty work of hiding the kid. Britt is unconscious, there's blood everywhere, Cullum is bleeding out on the docks. It's a literal nightmare. And Rocco is just so shaken. You can see the trauma setting in immediately. He just watched Britt tell Lucas she was leaving for Canada, then watched Cullum destroy the Huntington's meds, and then he had to pull a trigger to save lives. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. That's who. Which brings me to the most twisted, cruel, absolutely gut-wrenching part of the episode, the hospital. Isaiah Gannon is in his surgical gear yelling for them to get Cullum straight to Trauma 1 stat. They wheel in this gunshot victim. And who is the doctor desperately trying to save him? Lucas Jones. Lucas Jones. I can't. Even with the irony here, it is so sick and twisted. Lucas is literally shouting at his coworkers that this guy is not dying on our watch. He is fighting tooth and nail to save Ross Cullum's life. And he has absolutely no idea that Cullum is the man who just brutally stabbed his boyfriend, Marco Rios, to death. Or at least left him to bleed out. When Lucas finds out, guys, when Elizabeth has to tell him what happened to Marco, Lucas is going to break. He is going to completely shatter. He is saving the life of the monster who destroyed his world. It's brilliant soap writing, I'll admit it. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It's the kind of tragedy that we tune in for. But my heart just breaks for Lucas. He deserves so much better than this endless cycle of pain. He has been through the ringer so many times, and now he's literally got his hands inside the chest of the man who murdered the man he loves. It makes me sick to my stomach, but I also can't look away. And speaking of pain, let's talk about Alexis and Danny. Oh my god. Alexis opens the door to her law office. She's just coming back from Danny's basketball game. It's supposed to be a normal day. And she opens the door and screams. Oh my god. Because Marco Rios is just lying there in a pool of his own blood. Cullum really did a number on him. He ambushed him with a knife because Marco stole Britt's meds. And the worst part? Danny is right there behind her. Danny Morgan, Jason's kid, who has already been through enough trauma to last 10 lifetimes, is staring at a gruesome murder scene. Will Alexis push him back and tell him to call 911? Probably. But the image is already burned into his brain. Danny's hair is just visible behind the door, and you just know this is going to mess him up. And Marco. Marco is fading fast. Blood coming from his mouth. Is he going to leave a clue? Like a bloody C for Cullum on those legal briefs Alexis told him to write notes on, the spoilers hinted at it, and honestly, if he doesn't, how are they ever going to prove Cullum did this? Because Cullum is already setting up Sonny to take the fall. Of course he is, because everything always comes back to Sonny Corinthos on this show. Always. It's exhausting, but it's the formula. Meanwhile, Dante Falconeri is at the PCPD making an arrest. Dante is so completely clueless right now, it actually hurts to watch. He's playing super cop, putting someone in cuffs, delivering ultimatums. Is he arresting Jason? We saw Jason at the pier, so maybe the timeline is a bit jumpy. Or maybe he's arresting Jack Brennan for interfering with the investigation. Or maybe Valentin, who knows? But the sheer irony of Dante arresting someone for a crime while his own teenage son just pumped a bullet into a federal agent across town, it's staggering. Dante has no idea that his family is falling apart. He has no idea that Nathan, his good buddy, is covering up a shooting committed by his own kid when Dante finds out. And you know, he will find out eventually. The fallout is going to be atomic. It's going to destroy relationships left and right. Dante is all about the law until it comes to his family. But will he forgive Nathan for hiding this? Will he forgive Lulu? It's a ticking time bomb and the writers are just sitting back watching the timer count down. And then we have Carly and Valentin. I don't even know what to make of these two anymore. I really don't. They are up in Carly's attic, just arguing in circles. Valentin wants to get into Windermere, or he wants to surrender to the authorities. The spoilers are a bit messy on his exact endgame for the day, but the point is, he wants to do something reckless and noble, and Carly is having none of it. Carly claps back with, "Why? Because you say so?" Typical Carly. She always has to be in control. She always thinks she knows best. But Valentin is tired. He's a fugitive, he's hiding out, and his daughter Charlotte is out there watching her dreams of a normal life go up in smoke. Valentin wants to fix it, but Carly is arguing that his plan is stupid. She had this whole plan to use the dinner party for Lucas and Marco to sneak him into Windermere, but Lucas dropped the bomb that he and Marco were moving out, and now Marco is dying on a floor. So that plan is busted anyway, but Carly and Valentin just keep bickering. They are two incredibly stubborn people trapped in an attic, and the tension is just off the charts. Sometimes I wonder if they are going to kiss or kill each other. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. This episode is a masterclass in dramatic irony. Every single character is operating with only half the information. Lucas is saving the killer. Dante is arresting the wrong guy while his son is the shooter. Alexis is finding the body of the guy Lucas is waiting for at home. Carly is plotting a Windermere break-in for a party that is definitely going to be cancelled because the guest of honor is bleeding out. It's a giant web of secrets and lies, and it feels very old-school General Hospital, but it's also so heavy. The fans on social media are already losing their minds over the Rocco twist. People are asking, what were they thinking? Turning a legacy kid into a shooter? But let's be real, he's a Falconeri and a Spencer. Violence is basically in his DNA at this point. Still, the trauma this is going to inflict on that family is going to take years to unpack. And Nathan, he is crossing a line he can never uncross. He is a cop covering up the shooting of a WSB director. If Brennan or Cullum, if he wakes up, figures this out, Nathan is going to federal prison. And Britt, poor Britt, she finally gets her meds stolen back for her by Marco, only for Cullum to smash the vials on the pier. She is knocked out, her hopes for Canada are crushed, and now she is tied to a massive crime scene. Jason is going to have to leave town soon. We all know Steve Burton is taking his break, so how does he exit? Does he take the fall for Rocco? Does he go on the run to draw the WSB away from Port Charles? It feels like the only logical conclusion. Jason will sacrifice himself for Dante and Lulu's kid. It's what Jason does. He is the eternal martyr of Port Charles. I find myself second-guessing my own reactions as I type this. Am I too invested? Probably. But when a show delivers an episode packed with this much adrenaline and heartbreak, you can't help but get sucked in. The image of Lucas furiously pumping the chest of Ross Cullum, I just can't shake it. It's haunting. It is going to go down as one of the most tragic medical scenes in GH history. And Elizabeth standing there, watching it happen, probably about to get the phone call from the PCPD about Marco's body. The dominoes are falling so fast. So yeah, that's where we are. A kid is a shooter, a doctor is saving a killer, a lawyer is finding a bloody body, and the cops are arresting the wrong people. It's a mess. A glorious, frustrating, exhausting mess. I don't know how Britt is going to get out of this. I don't know how Jason is going to leave town without taking the fall for Rocco. And I definitely don't know how Lucas is going to survive the week once the truth comes out. But I'll be here, watching, typing furiously, complaining, because that's what we do. See you guys next week. Or tomorrow, whenever my brain recovers from this.